You already know society manipulates your reality, shaping what you see, feel, and believe. You've heard about the tools to reclaim control: meditation, mindset shifts, rituals, but few acknowledge the foundational truth. Before you can recreate the reality, you must first master the invisible force coursing through your body right now. Most people overcomplicate this journey, losing sight of the fundamental elements that bind everything together. Awareness is that critical foundation, the portal connecting you to your higher self. Without it, you remain enslaved to the system. You've heard meditation is the key to unlocking awareness. But you've been lied to about meditation. Sitting still, clearing your mind, it's not enough. What if your breath alone could hijack your nervous system, rewiring your reality from the inside out? Buried in your DNA is an ancient hack. A breath so precise, it overrides your nervous system's lies of separation. This isn't mindfulness. This is an ancient technique hidden in plain sight that fuses science and esoteric wisdom to dissolve the illusion of separation. This breath doesn't just calm you, it bends reality. And once you feel it, you'll never unsee the truth. Don't breathe. Command reality. Let me show you how. First, we need to understand what's really going on beneath the surface of our everyday consciousness. To understand how this works, we need to dive deeper into the ancient wisdom of yogic breathing and see how it's reflected in our modern understanding of human physiology. In the yogic tradition, there exists a concept called Prana, the vital life force that pervades the universe and all living beings. As Georg Feuerstein explains in his work, The Yoga Tradition, Prana is the energy that sustains life, circulating through energy channels called nadis and centers called chakras. These nadis form a complex network throughout the subtle body, the energetic blueprint that underlies our physical form. The three primary nadis run along the spine: Ida, associated with cooling, lunar energy; Pingala, associated with warming, solar energy; and Sushumna, the central channel of spirituality, awakening. Along this central channel lie the chakras, energy centers that correspond to different physical, emotional, and spiritual functions. As Paramahansa Yogananda described, these chakras are the energy centers aligned along the spine, each corresponding to different physical, emotional, and spiritual functions. At the base of the spine lies a dormant, powerful energy known as Kundalini. Yogananda described it as a dormant, coiled energy at the base of the spine that, when awakened through specific breathwork and meditation practices, ascends through these chakras to facilitate profound transformation. A well-aligned spine is crucial for this energy work and for optimal breathwork because it allows for the free flow of prana along the central channel. In traditional yoga, the spine is considered the pillar through which life energy ascends. This is where the breath comes in, as the bridge between the physical and subtle bodies. Conscious breathing isn't just about physical oxygenation, it's about moving energy and transforming consciousness. So what is this powerful breathing technique that can hijack reality and transform consciousness? What is this key that unlocks the doorway to expanded awareness? It's the synergistic combination of two ancient techniques, coherent breathing and Ujjayi, also known as ocean breath. What's fascinating is how modern science is beginning to validate aspects of this ancient understanding. The vagus nerve, the longest cranial nerve in our body, serves as the primary communication pathway of our parasympathetic nervous system, which governs our rest and digest functions. Therefore, when we breathe deeply using our diaphragm, we stimulate the vagus nerve, activating the parasympathetic response and counteracting the stress response. As researchers like Dr. Ravinder Jerath have found, deep breathing techniques work by increasing oxygen exchange, lowering the heart rate, and promoting parasympathetic dominance in the autonomic nervous system. This pattern creates greater coherence in heart rate variability, the naturally occurring fluctuations in heart rate that reflect autonomic nervous system balance. Higher HRV is associated with greater adaptability, resilience, and overall well-being. Simultaneously, specific breathing patterns can shift brainwave activity from the busy beta waves of normal waking consciousness to the calmer alpha and theta states associated with meditation, creativity, and expanded awareness. Coherent breathing involves breathing at a specific, resonant frequency, around 5 to 6 breaths per minute. That's about 5 to 6 seconds for each inhale and 5 to 6 seconds for each exhale. No holding, just a smooth, continuous flow. As Drs. Richard Brown and Patricia Gerbag explain in their research, coherent breathing is a simple way to increase heart rate variability and balance the stress response systems. When scientists tested people at all possible breathing rates, they found that there is an ideal breath rate for each person, somewhere between 3.5 and 6 breaths per minute, for adults using equal time for breathing in and breathing out, a sweet spot where the HRV is maximized and the electrical rhythms of the heart, lungs, and brain become synchronized. Ujjayi involves creating a gentle constriction at the back of the throat, producing a soft, oceanic sound during both inhalation and exhalation. This isn't just a physical technique, it's a way of connecting to what yogis call the sound current, or nada, activating the subtle energy channels. Brown and Gerbag note that resistance breathing slightly increases pressure in the lungs, which heightens stimulation of the parasympathetic system, the soothing, recharging part of the nervous system. But the real magic happens when you combine these techniques. The synergy of coherent breathing with Ujjayi creates a powerful effect that regulates the flow of prana, activates the chakras, and potentially awakens dormant kundalini energy. It's like finding the perfect key for a lock that's been waiting to be opened. Now let me guide you through the practice step by step so you can experience this reality-shifting technique for yourself. First, find a quiet, sacred space where you won't be disturbed. This could be a dedicated meditation area in your home, or simply a quiet corner where you feel comfortable and at ease. Sit in a comfortable posture with your spine straight but not rigid. This spinal alignment symbolizes the connection between the physical and subtle bodies, creating a clear channel for energy to flow. You can sit in a traditional meditation posture like lotus or half lotus if you're comfortable with that, or simply sit on a chair with your feet flat on the ground. Close your eyes to turn your awareness inward. This simple act begins the journey from the external world to the internal landscape. Begin by breathing in and out through your nose, the gateway to the subtle energy channels. If nasal breathing is difficult for you, you can breathe through slightly pursed lips instead. Focus on breathing deeply into your belly, allowing your diaphragm to expand on the inhale, drawing prana down into the body, and contract on the exhale, releasing stagnant energy. Place your hand on your belly if it helps you feel this movement. Now, establish a slow, even rhythm of approximately 5 to 6 breaths per minute. Inhale for a count of 5 to 6 seconds, and exhale for the same count. Don't hold your breath between the each inhale and exhale. Maintain a continuous flowing rhythm. This creates coherence in your nervous system and harmonizes the flow of prana throughout your body. As you maintain this rhythm, add the Ujjayi breath by gently constricting the back of your throat as if you're whispering the letter H or fogging up a mirror. This creates a soft oceanic sound during both inhalation and exhalation. This sound is the manifestation of the breath's energy resonating with your subtle body. As you practice, maintain a relaxed but alert posture, allowing energy to flow freely through your body. Feel the expansion and contraction of your belly with each breath. Listen to the gentle sound of the Ujjayi breath, feeling its vibration within your body. Begin to become aware of the subtle energy, the prana, moving within you. Gently focus your attention on the breath, the sound, and the sensations in your body. If your mind wanders, which it will, gently redirect your attention back to the breath without judgment. This is a practice of cultivating one-pointedness, what yogis call ekagrata. Begin with just 5 or 10 minutes of practice. As you become more comfortable and attuned to the subtle energies, you can gradually increase the duration. You might encounter some challenges as you begin this practice. If you have difficulty with the Ujjayi breath, practice by whispering ha with your mouth open, then try to create that same feeling with your mouth closed. If you find the slow breathing rate difficult, start with a slightly faster rate and gradually slow down, allowing your body to adjust to this new rhythm of prana. If you feel lightheaded, which can happen initially if you're not accustomed to deep breathing, slow down the breath or take a break. Always listen to your body's wisdom. So how exactly does this breathing pattern hijack reality? The explanation lies in both esoteric understanding and modern scientific research. Coherent breathing with Ujjayi regulates the flow of prana through the nadis, clearing energetic blockages and balancing the entire system. This isn't merely symbolic. The specific breath and sound vibration physically stimulate and activate the chakras, leading to a measurable expansion of awareness. From a neuroscientific perspective, this practice directly influences brainwave activity, inducing alpha and theta states that are consistently associated with deep meditation and heightened awareness. EEG studies have documented these shifts, providing a scientific reflection of the deeper energetic transformation taking place within. What science measures as brainwave coherence, ancient traditions recognized as the awakening of consciousness. Ultimately, this practice helps to quiet the overactive mind, calm turbulent emotions, and create a state of profound inner stillness. This stillness isn't emptiness, it's clarity. It allows one to pierce the veil of Maya, to perceive reality beyond the limitations of ordinary conditioned perceptions. The journey with this technique often begins like many viewers might experience, back against the wall, eyes closed, feeling somewhat ridiculous. First attempts feel awkward and forced. The breath catches, the throat constricts too much, while the mind races with doubt. "This is ridiculous," whispers the inner critic. Just another spiritual technique that promises everything and delivers nothing. But what else is there to try when conventional approaches have failed? Days pass. The practice becomes more consistent. 5 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes before bed. Gradually, the rhythm begins to feel natural, even necessary. The sound of the ocean breath transforms from strange to familiar, eventually becoming a comforting constant in daily life. Something subtle yet unmistakable shifts during the 3rd week. Colors appear more vibrant, as though a filter has been removed from perception. Food tastes more intense, with flavors never noticed before emerging. Conversations become richer, more meaningful. Then it happens. During a morning practice session, the breath finds its perfect rhythm. The mind quiets completely, not forced into silence, but naturally settling into stillness. Consciousness expands outward, beyond the boundaries previously assumed fixed. The illusion of separation between self and others, between observer and observed, falls away completely. Tears stream down the face, not from sadness or even joy, but from recognition. This is what has been missing all along. Not something external to acquire, but a way of being that has always been available. Life continues its normal patterns afterward. Work, relationships, challenges, none of that disappears. But everything becomes infused with a new quality of presence. Each moment gains depth and significance previously unnoticed. Now, hearing these experiences might bring up some questions, maybe even healthy skepticism. It's completely natural to wonder, could something as simple as breathing really have such a profound impact on consciousness? This isn't just any breathing pattern. The power lies in the specific combination of coherent breathing and Ujjayi, practices refined over thousands of years of spiritual exploration. Modern science is only beginning to understand what ancient traditions have known. Breath is the most direct access point to our nervous system and consciousness. Perhaps you're thinking, I'm skeptical of these reality-shifting claims. And understandably so. This isn't suggesting that you'll suddenly be transported to another dimension or develop supernatural abilities. What this is about is a profound shift in perception and awareness, seeing the same world but with new eyes, experiencing reality without the filters and conditioning that normally limit perception. And finally, you might be wondering, what does breathing have to do with spirituality? Throughout history, across virtually every spiritual tradition, breath has been considered the bridge between body and mind, between the physical and the spiritual dimensions of existence. The Sanskrit word prana means both breath and life force for good reason. They are inseparable. So to conclude, coherent breathing with Ujjayi is a powerful, ancient technique that offers a way to hijack reality, not by escaping it, but by experiencing it more fully, more clearly, and with greater awareness than ever before. The invitation stands before you now. The key isn't in some distant teaching or expensive retreat, it's in your breath, available in this very moment. Try this technique. Commit to a consistent practice, even for just a few minutes daily. Be patient with yourself, remain open to subtle shifts and witness the transformation that unfolds naturally within.